Imagine you're playing 8 ball, 10 ball or 9 ball and your goal is to bring the cue ball into this safe zone on the table. So you're trying to catch the 8 ball fin, hit it with the right speed, but we just hit a bit too hard and the cue ball leaks out and your opponent has an open shot. And if you agree that the only problem with this shot was that we just hit it a bit too hard, then you have been playing this shot wrong your whole life. So what is the problem if we're playing the shot the way that we're playing it in the beginning? Have a look what happens with the cue ball. If we're trying to catch the 8 ball fin, the 8 ball goes that way and the cue ball goes along this line, then we have the danger that we're hitting too soft, so no ball is hitting a rail and it's a foul. And if we're hitting a bit too hard, the cue ball will leak out and leave an open shot for the 8 ball. So instead we're going to hit it a bit differently. We're not trying to catch the 8 ball fin. No, we're actually going for a fuller hit on the 8 ball. The 8 ball should go towards here and the natural roll of the cue ball will make sure that the cue ball ends up behind the 9 ball. And that way speed control is a lot easier. So this is our contact point on the 8 ball, and remember in this case we're just hitting center cue ball and using the natural roll of the cue ball. Let's have a look once again. You can see speed control is a lot easier and we always get that lock up safety behind the 9 ball, and you can even make contact with the 9 ball, it won't harm the outcome. As you can see here, still a really nice safety. Now I'm going to show you two completely different options than this one. If you didn't like the first option that I was showing you, I have a couple of more options for you. The one option I'm going to show you now is to send the 8 ball into a safe space down here. This means banking the 8 ball from the long rail into this long rail, and in the best case end up down here on the short rail. The best option would be to be at the center of the short rail, but here or here is also possible, and I'm going to show you now how this would look. I'm going to stun the cue ball in the best case behind the 9 ball, and as mentioned the 8 ball should end up down here. The cue ball didn't end behind the 9 ball, but as you can see we didn't leave a makeable shot on the 8 ball for our opponent, so all he can do now is play a resave by bringing the 8 ball towards this long rail and the cue ball towards this long rail. Let me show you how this would look. Going to cut the 8 ball a bit on the right using some right spin. And again, we don't leave a makeable shot for our opponent. The third option we have is an offensive and defensive option at the same time, which I don't really like, but it's still an option. What we're going to do is, again, we're trying to bank the 8 ball towards here and here, but this time we're actually trying to make the 8 ball into this corner pocket. And very important, if you're missing the bank, make sure to miss it short towards the long rail so that it again ends on that short rail, and in the best case the cue ball ends behind that 9 ball. As mentioned, we're trying to stun the cue ball behind the 9 ball and banking the 8 ball into the corner pocket, and again make sure to hit that long rail if you're missing the bank shot. So this is actually a bit above center to stun follow the cue ball. And you see we have the cue ball safe behind the 9 ball, and we also hit that long rail, so we missed the bank shot, and the 8 ball again is in a safe place. So that way we also leave the cue ball safe, and this is a really nice option, but you have to make sure to definitely hit that rail if you're missing the bank shot, because if the 8 ball ends up somewhere here, this is a really makeable shot for good players. Alright, that's the way to play this shot, and it comes up very often in many variations. Now you will have a look at the bonus clip from today, and then you will see the outro. You might be wondering where those projections on the table are coming from. Well, they're actually coming from our ICA training system, which is connected to a projector, and this is a great system to practice. So here, for example, we're having a drill, but we can also use it to practice on our own. So for example, if we're struggling with this shot in this 9 ball situation, what we can do is set the shot up. You see it shows us the 33-degree cut, also the tangent line, and then we can also introduce targets on the table. And if this is too easy for you, we can also make it smaller. Now let's see how close we actually come to executing this shot properly. And we hit a bit too hard, but you can see we still have a very nice position on the 9 ball. If you want to get the system, check out icatraining.com and make sure to use the bonus code Sharivari to get my drill set Essential 7 by Sharivari. If you want to have more lessons on pool, then check one of those 2 videos, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you have any questions, and if you want to get notified once I'm uploading new content, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. Thanks for watching guys, and as always, see you at the next lesson. Take care.